And ladies and gentlemen, with that, welcome back to another episode of Chummy Thumbs. All right, well, we are of course going to talk about Skeleton Crew episode 7, titled "We're gonna be in so much trouble."
Okay, Neil.
Okay. And this is, of course, the seventh episode of the Skeleton Crew. Not going to go into much detail about the plot because I'm guessing you guys have already seen it. But a lot of things happened. A lot of more, the dark side of Jod, Mr. Sexy, gets kind of revealed a little bit. I see Justin rubbing his hands a little bit. And yeah, you kind of see that he's just just a bad person. Freaking executes two people in this episode. R.I.P. Brutus, R.I.P. SM33. And you really see his kind of sinister side in this one. And of course, the episode ends kind of a really intense setup, really big cliffhanger for the last episode, which is coming out next week, where Jod is looking at the kids with their parents with his lightsaber drawn. So on that note, first impressions. Hey, what do you think about this episode? Did it meet your expectations? Were you satisfied?
I haven't watched it yet because you told me not to watch it, so it would be a live response reaction.
Yeah, what did you think about Ray making her first appearance?
Whoa! No, I did watch it.
I did not. I didn't expect that.
I did not
That's a
expect
big
that.
twist.
Yeah.
Big twist. And then
Big.
the last thing you hear is you hear the
Right. I think it was Vader. I
Like
think
Vader
it was
never
probably it.
died.
I don't know, but maybe. Maybe.
Maybe Kylo Ren. He had the
No,
Vader
Hayden,
helmet.
that's only
No.
real guesses. Not
Only
Yeah,
real
that's
guesses.
Such a bad guess.
stupid guess. Kylo, come on.
Kylo shows up. He would have been not even a baby yet.
Exactly. So obviously it's not real. Yeah, what did
All things.
Just Han Solo coming in like,
I'm the real original pirate bastard. No, I mean, I did actually watch it for those that are convinced by my brilliant lying skills. It was another shortish one. I mean, 35-ish minutes minus credits, like the last week, but there was a lot packed into it, so it didn't let up, even though there were slower moments. It did reveal a lot of things that I was like, oh, well, where does that leave us for the finale? Like, which we'll get into, obviously, but so I won't mention them in my quick rundown. There was some good throwback. I was like, the beginning, I was like, oh, this reminds me of like E.T. with the parents trying to get the little communication thing up and going. Yeah. And then to show how they actually get onto the planet, I was like, oh, that's so clever. I never even put two and two together even though with like the previous visit to Akron and they showed the dead satellites and whatnot. It was kind of cool to see how they operate and how they work. I did come up with a new theory on Captain Renaud that I'm going to bring up later. Also another one on Jode. Did I get it right?
Jod.
Gosh darn it. I don't know why I keep doing that. The jaw of Jude Law, Mr. Sexy, J. Oh God, Jod. But
Work through it.
Work through it. But it was a good one. And yeah, Mr. Sexy just went total a-hole. And I'm like, oh wow.
No.
Well, no, he didn't?
No.
No? You think it was justified?
I'm gonna wait for my turn to speak because once I take over, I'm fucking the cord's getting pulled.
Going. Okay, so it's obviously worse than that. But I think when Justin gives his opinions, I'll be able to either retort or agree. So overall, I thought it was a great episode. It set up a different ending than we theorized all of this way, which I think is really good writing. If what the masses think is going to happen doesn't, so it leaves up for a full surprise of not like, oh, I totally predicted this to happen, or I totally expected that to happen. So I was very happy. Lots of lightsaber stuff too, which is always good, even though it was on the not good side of a use of lightsabers, but you know, what can you do?
Yeah,
That was
what
my
can you do?
thoughts. What can you do?
I mean, I will, before you go, Justin, just a really quick thing because I don't want to interrupt you later.
Let's
the
just not let him talk.
the Brutus's death really. I was like, what?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
awesome. It was awesome. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it was
so
awesome.
good.
I was like, whoa. And then
Yeah.
I just because I think since last time we kind of talked about that potentially there would be a battle, and I would have thought it was with Brutus, and he was pretty much the main antagonist for several episodes, and now that he's gone, I guess Jod is pretty much, he's set up to be the guy, and we were all predicting that he was going to have this arc of going bad and going good again, and then maybe whatever, right? And it doesn't seem to be happening that way anymore. But on that note, Justin, you take it away.
It's not going that way, and I don't think it should go that way. And if it does go that way, which I know this is exactly opposite to what I've been saying before, but I'll be choked. I was so angry, not angry, upset when he betrayed the kids. I was like, oh, we kind of knew it was gonna happen, but like I still didn't want to. They were having all these great moments, but man, I like this episode for me. It's my favorite episode so far. I love the journey of him, and he just went full dark. Like he's not fucking around. When he capped Brutus, like I didn't see it coming. I thought it was going to be, one of those dramatic moments where he's holding the gun and he's there, and then it's going to go like Disney. And when they didn't obviously show him Brutus get hit, but when they were on him and he pulled that trigger, I was like, holy shit! Like I can't believe they just did that in the show. I love that they did because hey, it's my ship now. There's no going back. And then like with SM-33, like I did not see that coming. I didn't see Jod at all like being stowed away on the ship. Like that caught me by surprise. I almost like rewound it and was like, wait a minute, like how did this happen? So when he came and then chopped the head off SM-33, I was like, oh my God, like I think SM-33 is done. They brought him back so many times that they can't bring him back. Like he's got to stay done. I liked him as a character. I thought he was great, but you can't, it's just going to, it's too much. If every time he gets destroyed, they bring him back. And then when he was like threatening the kids with the lightsaber, I thought the only thing I felt like maybe they missed an opportunity. I thought Wim was going to stand up to Jod, like, because you could see it like building inside of him, like he wanted to say something when he was there, and he was like, what? Jod's like, what? Like challenging him, and then he shut down, and then Fern like she was going to, but she didn't either. So I thought maybe I don't know if it would have been necessary. I mean, we were seeing sort of that, like before. I think Jod, he was more bad guy, like fun bad guy. Yeah, he did bad things, but maybe he's a good guy, but he's just choosing to do this. I felt like he really, like he just dropped into the darkness in this episode, and I was just having all of it. One negative thing I have to say, because it's not, no show is perfect. When the kids landed at the Mint and they saw the parents, I get that you want to greet your parents, but I just finished watching the show with Kate, and there's like a very similar thing, and it fucking just drove me mad. Obviously different, but when they see the parents, they don't even try and warn or do anything. Like, hey, shut the vaults, the pirates are there, we're kidnapped. Like, you know what I mean? There's no urgency about warning them. And that was sort of the whole point of when we discussed earlier on the last episode, who do we want to land first, the pirates or the kids? Turns out it was both of them, actually. Who would I guess?
Yeah. That wasn't even an option for us.
It wasn't even an option, right?
Either or.
Like, and it was like, oh, if the kids go first, they're gonna warn them. It's gonna give them time. Now, obviously, they wouldn't have had as much time to set up because Jod is with a lightsaber right behind them. But the fact that they didn't say anything And it wasn't like he came out right away. There was time. There
Yeah,
was
he like
time.
walked out slowly from the vault. They could have said like
Yeah.
he's dangerous, like something even just so
Anything.
simple. Like, I agree with you with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, man, I loved it. I even liked his very brief moment where uh Fern and Wim, while they were on the ship with Neil and KB, they had that little bit of separation. So we talked about them getting their little scenes or time with individually with other characters, and that was one that um we hadn't really we'd seen a little bit, I guess, but anyway, so I like that. And it was, Fern reaching out to Wim, Firm trying to connect with Wim, not the other way around. So I thought that was a good little reversal. But yeah, I mean, dude, I've made up my mind where I want this to go, and not just for the next episode, but for future Star Wars stuff. So I'm actually having a meeting with some of the execs because they want to hear my great ideas. Yeah. So
Perfect.
I might be late for the next recording.
Okay. No worries. It would be on time with Hayden. But I think so with Brutus, I thought I actually thought that his death, I thought he would have, instead of shooting him there, I did have a thing in my mind where he was going to keep him prisoner and then put him in the airlock. I thought that was John's thing, but it's much more badass. Can I?
What's the problem with that? Sorry, that's the problem. I'm happy because too often in movies, just in general, you're like, well, why didn't he just kill him right there? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna keep him alive a little bit longer and talk to him a little bit longer. It's like, no, just shoot him.
Yeah, he has no use for it, Brutus.
No use. It's
his ship. It was just more like it would have been more of like a taste of your own medicine sort of revenge kind of thing versus like, you know what I mean? But
I think it's a statement. Yes, I see what you're saying. To me, that was a statement kill. That was like, also, everybody is watching. Everybody is watching me. Yeah. They're gonna see what I'm gonna do. I'm the fucking leader. I'm the captain.
Yeah. I might have missed something about the handcuffs. Did he use the Force to break it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I just wasn't entirely sure.
Which brings up a whole bunch of questions, but if you've got something that you're going to run,
no. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything or any missed dialogue or something like that about.
So do you think his powers are getting stronger? Do you think as he's channeling maybe the anger, hate,
the dark side,
the dark side, his Force, like, I wonder if we're going to see an escalation in his usage of it, the strength of it?
Maybe.
Any thoughts? Hey.
My only thought was that maybe is that he's definitely. I mean, okay, think of it like this: if he was a youngling and he was escaped Order 66, and in order to not be hunted by the Inquisitors, he would have had to shut off all Force use. He wouldn't be able to practice it. He wouldn't be able to display any of it to keep himself safe. Throw himself into the world of piracy, and that's another way to keep himself hidden. So very sparingly he uses these things, or once he was an adult, he started to, do it again. So my only thought was that, he's not doing it straight away because his crew has no idea that he's Force sensitive. Like, they have no idea. So he can't just have like willy-nilly. Otherwise he would have been like, oh, that's the Jedi pirate, he would have been much more famous, I guess. Even though he's had how many different pseudonyms, like 5 or 6 different names and tasks, throughout his treasured backstory. So it's I don't think anyone was around him, but he just was like, yeah, well, why wait and wait and wait? He gets thrown in the airlock. He could have ripped him off then, but he had to wait until he was let out by the female pirate again before he busts them off. But this episode had a couple of scenes that weren't shown. Like they didn't show him retrieving his lightsaber or how he got onto the ship. There was kind of which is
Mm.
fine. Like you don't have to show everything. You can fill the gaps, but
It's kind of nice because it was like those moments were unexpected.
mhm.
If you show it, the surprise is gone.
Yeah, it's like I already know what's going to happen. We already
Yeah.
know as the audience. The world doesn't.
Yeah.
But now
And I
we're
like those
surprised.
surprises.
Yeah, we're surprised the same as the characters in world. But yeah, I think. See, this is what I was going to say on him was that I don't know if he's going to go Sith angry, or if this is just a culmination of life having shat on him. That he's finally, maybe he's always been known as like the bumbling pirate, like a Jack Sparrow. Still very skilled, but never anything worked. And then this is the one thing, like when he found all the credits and he just loses it because it's like the first time something's actually happened and worked for him.
Mm.
But yeah, he did. There is something there that is bubbling up because why would he like go to the extent of threatening the kids so severely? Like, I'm going to chop you all into little pieces with this lightsaber and your parents, and it's going to be, it's like, why would they already don't like you and you've already betrayed them a couple of times, even though they have saved him a couple of times by accident, like just by being there at the same time. Like he didn't get thrown out of the airlock the second time because the kid's ship showed up. They didn't deliberately do that, but because of their appearance, he's like, oh, I'm saved.
Well,
Shit.
I'd beg to differ. I think they did deliberately do that. Shao?
Do you really?
Yeah.
Very, very.
No.
interesting theory.
Obviously. I thought Brutus was a bit overplayed in his like, oh, this planet covered in camouflage that's impossible to penetrate. I thought you said this was at Attin. You know what I mean? Like, well,
Next
of
planet.
course,
Like,
of
come on.
course, it's gonna be protected and hidden and
Worst pirate leader ever.
yeah.
He calls him out pretty
I guess
good,
there's
though.
no
He's like,
treasure
The
here.
storm is too big. Let's go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
he's like,
Like,
you're a
fuck.
damn fool. Of course it's like that.
Yeah.
Don't listen to this guy.
I want to give a quick shout out to Mick Giacchino. He's the composer of Skeleton Crew. I think, throughout the whole series so
Oh, Hayden's
far.
writing that down. I think Hayden's.
Yeah, is
writing
that a trivia
name down.
question?
Yeah.
I was actually doing a show and looking it up. I was like, to see how his
Yeah,
name
so
is
he
spelled.
composed, and his father is like I think he did the Rogue One, and he did a lot of like Spider-Man stuff as well. But he
Best Star Wars movie ever made.
He did the Penguin.
Yes, the Penguin. But Mick, I think this episode there were some, just the mixture of the classic pirate shanty sort of music mixed with the Star Wars universe music is just like beautifully done. There were some transitional shots of the ship going by the screen. It was just like it sounded so good. I really, really, really liked the music in this one. I mean, it's good throughout, but I think for some reason this episode in particular was just like phenomenal. Just a quick little
Stood out to you, hey?
shout out to Mickey. Yeah, stood out for me. Yeah. Do you guys have do you want to jump into theories right now or what? Because I'm just wondering, like, because of what you said, Justin, about how, when the parents and the kids reunited at the end, they all seem really happy, and then John just slowly, casually walks up. I don't know where you go from there. I'm just trying to imagine how the next episode starts. Is someone gonna come save them? Do they disperse?
With the bang.
Yeah, it's gonna be with a bang for sure.
Luke
I mean,
Skywalker's going to show up.
Stop. Adam Driver. Kylo.
He's going to time jump back.
Yeah, he's a time jump. But I don't think that any of them have weapons except for the lightsaber. I mean, this obviously could be complete surprise when it starts with the bang for a season finale.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking, okay, one, how are they gonna get out of there? They're kind of trapped. They're not gonna slowly get up, right? Or unless it's someone gonna come save them.
No,
I-
yes, okay.
They're gonna talk. They're probably gonna talk about something first, whatever. Even though Jod was saying that he's gonna kill them, he's gonna kill his parents, gonna kill the kids. Does he need them anymore right now at this point?
No, I think the only because that's kind of what I was thinking too at the end is like, well, why does he need the kids? Why does he need the parents? So either they have to split up and they get away, or like I wasn't even really so much thinking about the parents because they're not really the show's not about them.
Yeah.
The show is about the kids and it's about Jod. So why do you need the kids unless he is going to use the kids as a means to escape the planet?
Like hold them hostage to get back. out
Hold
of
them
there?
hostage. I mean, and like, but then he's got these kids, right? Then, like, I don't know if that's the right move, but I was trying to think, well, okay, let's just say he doesn't take the kids. He gets away with a ton of credits. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to get the pirates back in there. Well, then season 2, why would you need the kids in season 2? Because they're not going to be the ones that go after him. The parents aren't going to let, the kids join him unless it's, they hide on the ship as they go to look. But I don't even think it would be the parents that would go after him. You know what I mean? So I don't, this is why I'm like, well, and they've always done a really good job of surprising us. Like, oh shit, that's what they decided to do. But
this won't
take
happen.
take him hostage.
But what if Wim's need for constant adventure makes him join John? You know what I mean?
Bold prediction.
I'll be your first mate. Because he's a Jedi. He's like,
You know, because he's always just
Could
like,
you
I don't want
imagine?
to go home. I gotta do that, take that
Yeah.
test again, or whatever. He's
It's like
thirsty
Jod's,
for some adventure.
yeah, Jod standing there, all the parents and Wim across from him. They're all in that stare off. And then Wim just slowly walks across.
Yes.
Stands beside Jod.
he's going to
They
draw a
all think
line
he's
with the
gonna confront
lightsaber.
him. Yeah, they think he's gonna like confront him face on, and then he just like turns and stands right next to him. Oh
Well,
man.
First, I have a question about what's Jod's plan? He can't fit everything in his ship or in the Onyx Cinder, or was he planning to take over at Attin? You know what I mean?
Don't-
Or like,
Well, he thought maybe he
Supervisor.
didn't know that their big ship would not be able to gain access to the atmosphere or the planet, right?
right?
Like he didn't know that. Obviously, you'd probably think there'd be some sort of defenses if it's been hidden, but not necessarily not be able to get a ship there. So, I think he was planning on going and probably taking all the loot.
Mm.
You don't want to stick around. What are you going to stick around for?
Yeah,
Like
it's
go
true.
watch
If-
like kids soccer games? Like fuck, shoot me.
It was the most boring fucking life.
me-
Like
give
you're
me-
sitting in a.
Well,
That's
it could
Brutus is
maybe
bad.
it'll become like the
Horrible.
new. It'll be like Space Tortuga, right? He might want to lay claim to the planet and basically it becomes a pirate planet.
See, I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, I guess once you're in it, you're in it. But really, would you want to? Would you want to? Yes, you'd have money on all that, but I would go do that with a whole bunch of money. But I wouldn't do it with pirates, people who I know are actively probably just trying to stab me in the back so they can be the leader. But I get that there's like a little bit of, I don't know, bravado about being the leader of a pirate planet. But at that point, you don't need to be a pirate. You
Mm.
got
Make
unlimited
yourself
wealth.
a king.
Yeah, exactly.
I am
How much do
king
you
of
guys
the
think,
Emperor.
based on what we've seen, them trade for dataries, how much do you think one chip is worth?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because okay, I'm just thinking back. Okay, so he bribes the lady at the spa at the beginning with just one, correct? And then he adds on another one, and he gives more to her after. So the fact that a high scale, elite only sort of spa place, the lady would take just one and be like, okay,
It's got to be like 100.
yeah.
like inflation wise, you know, maybe like their 100 here is like 1,000 to them. Who knows? But I feel
Well,
like on par with us, it would a dollar or a dollar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
A room for me and my friends, please.
yeah, here you go. He's a nice shiny loony. No, but because he does throw in like a handful after, and they get the best suite, right? Or one of the best, whatever,
Hmm.
right? So, um, I don't know. I feel like at a place like that, a suite, fuck, I don't know. I don't know how much suites cost in fancy schmancy five-star hotels, but a lot for a
Yeah.
night. I'm guessing. Few, like maybe 10, close to 10,000 or something. I don't know.
And
10,000.
if that's all you have is those, you don't have anything smaller. So the lowest you can do is one, and you're not gonna be like, could I get
Yeah.
200
Let's
credits
snap
back,
this in
please?
half and then maybe
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah. So that's a good point. Maybe it's worth, maybe it's like 1,000.
yeah. I was gonna say it's maybe closer to maybe around 1,000 or something like that. But just the thought of that, and so if it is 1,000, you walk into a freaking Costco warehouse full of $1,000 chips, and just the moment he had when he just took one, he just like
Yeah.
he looked kind of sad. He's like, he looked like, no, not sad. He very emotional, just about to
Happy.
cry
Yeah.
because like this is all he's been wanting and hoping for, and it's here, and the myths are real and all that stuff. And that one little thing, and it all just, I'm like, first of all, I'm like, wow, these are stacked really poorly. Just one little thing is making a cascade like that. But I love the, him just like getting like a shower, a golden shower, if you
It's kind of
will.
a golden
It's just
shower.
like
Yeah.
a golden shower. Yeah. Just like bathing in the gold. And I don't know. I felt happy for him. I was like, yes, even though you're an asshole. You remember how
Nope. He's
Justin,
not.
that other episode, he was like, just say it. He's an asshole. And now
Yeah.
Justin's full on like, yep, he's full blown asshole, and I like it.
Yeah. You can't be part asshole, you know? Like, give me the whole asshole. I
Yeah,
want to
you
the
you
whole
go full
starfish.
asshole. Go
Yeah. I
full
don't want half starfish.
So to your starfish, here's some hot dog flavored water.
Nice. Nice.
Hey,
Little Limp Biscuit throwback.
really good. I didn't see that coming at all.
And
Very good.
and bring us that Limp Biscuit energy.
I wanted to bring up to see what you guys thought of the hologram messages that all the parents sent in the communications thing. Not so much the other parents, but Wim's dad's one specifically. He mentions that every kid on the planet learns the true nature about Attin when they become adults.
When they
Now-
graduate.
Yeah.
Graduate.
What did I say?
When they
Become adults.
It's not
When they become
really.
adults.
It's
Lucky
you
it's
know
not, you're lucky it's not a trivia question.
it's
go.
I'm
I mean,
deducting a point right now, actually.
Shao, it's all about the he said she said bullshit. You know.
So what I say is
Very
that
good. Very good.
is that one, do you think that that is true? Two, is that a little code, I guess? Because I don't think, like, how could you have an entire planet of adults that are able to disguise that that's the true nature of it? Like, if you look at all of them when the mint was opening up, they had no clue what was going on. And clearly that mint hasn't opened in a long time because it was covered in grass. So I was like,
Well,
You think the grass just grew there naturally? Like it just started. I think
like it was
it's
just a
probably
bare
hidden.
dome before.
yeah,
I think
I'm
it's
like,
probably hidden.
I mean, much like Tack's ship, it had obviously been there for a long time because it was covered under forest. If this was a mint that was regularly visited by Republican emissaries, you'd think it would not be like hidden like that. But they just appeared to not know what the hell was going on because they're all standing on it and they're like, "Oh, get away!"
Do we know
Well,
how
okay.
often it gets visited?
I
No.
think
But
I don't know. I just gotta go against you on this one, Hayden, because I
well,
mean,
I had no side. I was asking you what you think.
okay, no, I mean specifically about them not knowing, because I guess my answer to you is yes, I do feel like he's telling the truth then, because I mean, they kind of got warned that a ship was coming. I guess. Well, no, the parents did. But I mean, if you're just standing on a grass field and then all of a sudden it starts opening, you're gonna kind of be like, "Whoa," too. You know what I mean? Like the fact that all of a sudden the ground starts moving.
But why would you
But
be
I feel
standing
like
there
they'd
if
know.
you knew it was where the mint opening was?
Yeah, so maybe it doesn't happen very often then, um, like you alluded to. But the fact that they even have Republic emissaries, there obviously must be somehow still a part of the Republic. Like the supervisor, we finally hear his voice. Um, there was no warning of like distress, and I'd imagine if you know they're not getting visitors very often, or they're not expecting visitors ever again, or whatever the case may be, it would be like, oh shit, there's a Republic emissary entering, like be on alert, as opposed to like, let me take you straight to all the gold. You know, that's sort of what I think, because and then that made me wonder like what more, like what is their tie to the Republic still, and why are they minting older republics? So maybe there's still trade amongst these other planets, but that's sort of where my brain went,
It was
as
also
opposed to
yeah. It just was
yeah, go ahead.
curious. It's like sorry to just jump back on. Um,
No.
it was just curious that he's like you all learn of this, and if you say it's like after they graduate, well, how old are they when they graduate? Because if they're only like 12 or 13 after they get their placements, like these kids would be, how hard is it for a 12-year-old to keep a secret, you know, from other kids? They're going to see him around and they'll be like, oh, this is actually, no, what you know is not true. This is what's true. It just seems like an interesting thing to say. But then again, it might just be exposition to fill in some gaps. Who knows, you know?
That could be. I don't think they graduate at 12. Maybe they do their placement exam or assessment, and then they get put in, you know, education for the direction of what they're assessed at. But I was listening every message. I was listening with such intent because I thought, okay, they can't give the coordinates, so there's going to be some code in here. And so I was really listening to like what they were saying and how they were saying it. Was there emphasis on different things? Because it did build up to Wim's dad. You know, they talked and it was like, okay, you know, we can't give you the coordinates, so you listen very carefully. And then you know, obviously we can't, for our protection, we can't, you know, tell you how to get here, whatever. It seemed like everybody sort of had something to say about that. And then it kind of ended with, you got to find a Republic emissary. Well, they make that sound so easy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're these, you know, 4 lost kids on a ship. We don't know if this communication will get you, but find a Republic emissary. Not go to this planet and find a Republic emissary, or hey, here's a list of 100 Republic emissaries in the galaxy. You know what I mean? It was like, so I thought, so maybe there is a hidden message in what he said, because their instructions were very not helpful. I thought
very vague. Yeah, exactly. And I feel, you're right. I did feel a little bit as if there's something more to be said or more in those messages, because I don't know. I think you guys touched on it pretty bang on, but I was watching it and I was like, if I was a kid and this is what my parents had to say, like I don't, and it seemed very, I don't know, maybe it's just the way they delivered, especially Wim's dad delivered the message seemed very, suspicious even for me anyway. Yeah. And it also, I don't know, for some reason, it didn't really sound as sincere as I thought it would be. It sounded like he was delivering a message with a gun to his head, like the way he was delivering it. Yeah. So I thought that too. I thought that there was something
droids.
I thought that was kind of strange.
Well, if Star Wars, sorry,
No. Go ahead.
If it's taught us anything, is that hologram messages aren't always fully played out the first time you see them. So, like with those that aren't familiar, like R2D2's first message from Leia to Obi-Wan, it's all half there and broken, and then it has to be opened up to fully explain. But that hologram thing is now still on the Onyx Cinder, isn't it? So
Sure. Yeah.
it might be we're just chasing nothing, like theorizing on this, because how are they going to get back on the Onyx Cinder, and what are they going to do with that? Because if they take a ship off planet, they're going to be able to get back in anyway. So,
Well, Jod will be able to.
yeah. Which,
how many Republic emissaries are out there?
yeah. Well, it would be the beginning of the New Republic now, because this is after the fall of the Empire. So is it Leia? Is she, because she's a senator, would she be the one to track down? But I mean, I guess they wouldn't know if they've been sheltered from that war.
But would they not maybe be tied to the Old Republic because they have, or maybe they just, they have the Old Republic mint?
Yeah. Depends on if that still existed at all, or if Palpatine had them all killed when he took over the Senate, who knows?
And that's why they hid in the 9 planets of Atts, the Att planets.
They could have just gone, go to another Att planet and get her emissary from there, and you'll get back in.
Yeah.
Was this the first episode we heard the supervisor, or did he make another announcement before? This is the first one.
I thought it was the first episode, yeah.
And they're all like, what? Like they'd never heard his voice before.
Yeah. And I was trying to picture from his voice and voice only what he looked like. I don't know. It's pictured some like jolly old fat white dude, but
it
I
was
think some like
it was
middle-aged.
Stephen Fry, wasn't it? So
it was Stephen Fry.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I just pictured him in a robe, essentially, with like a hooded robe, sitting in a throne.
So that rules out old Tac Renaud, or one of his descendants being the supervisor. Unless they got him hostage, just like, okay, send the message out, old man.
Or he's just using a voice box that KB used.
Yeah.
To try to deter Jod. Who knows?
Which do you like that actually? When the ship landed and he was like, come out with your hands up or whatever, and she was talking through that, would Brutus not have known it was just kids on that ship? Because after, Jod alludes to it, he's like, after he motherfucking caps Broody. Sorry, still very excited about that. He says, go on this ship, you're going to find 4 scared children. Like, would Brutus not have known that was just 4 scared kids on there? You don't think so?
He wouldn't have known what the ship looked like, because he would have seen it with the hull armor still on. So this is a brand new ship to him. Is it not? They wouldn't have seen it escape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess, because they never got... Yes. Yeah, that makes sense, because he's never seen Jod on that ship. But you think... Yeah, I mean, I guess you wouldn't recognize it.
Because when it was getting pulled in with
he wouldn't have seen the hull get pulled off. So
yeah, because they mentioned, like, you hear the pirates going when it's getting tractor beamed in. They're like, "Oh, that's an old blobby blobby blah. We haven't seen one of those in a long while."
Yeah.
So maybe that's how they got around it. He didn't actually know whose ship it was. It had just showed up at the same time, and they're like, well, maybe we can use this to help us.
Yeah.
Justin, I'm curious as to what you think where season 2 is heading.
Okay, well, listen, I don't know if this is necessarily what is going to happen, or I think is going to happen.
Well, just tell us what you can without giving too much, because I know you're meeting with the executives next week. So I don't, in case this gets out, and then, you know what I mean? Just tell us.
Yeah, well, as long as you boys don't tell anybody, should be fine. But he's going full bad, and I don't know if he's gonna go Sith bad or what, because obviously there's only a certain period of time he can live up into. We know this is after, Return of the Jedi, before Force Awakens. So there's some time. But we also know there's a Mando Grogu movie coming, right? I feel like I would love to see if he takes all the money. Think of if he goes full bad, the army that he would be able to assemble, and the power he'd be able to assemble, the control he'd be able to assemble. It would be infinite. So I don't think Disney's gonna maybe go that far. They might still want, for the sake of it being a family kid show, but you do need villains. Him having that moment where he comes back, but I like, in my brain, that's gone. I don't. If it happens and they do a good job, I'll probably flip flop again. But right now, I'm on like Team Jod, just being the bad guy. I want him to get the credits. I want him to start building power and army. He's, I want to see it. I want to see the final shot of season 1. I want him to just be sitting there at a table, and then it's just on him, and he's just got a big fucking smile on his face, and then he lifts something up and he's eating, and the camera pulls out, and there's just food everywhere. Because you know what? He ain't fucking feeding on scraps no more, baby. He's gonna be fed. I want it. I want to see him go full bad. And they could build up, like, they have this opportunity to build up this new, and maybe they don't want to commit to such a big idea, but with the money and power and what he could build, and obviously it would have to be over a certain amount of time, but the fact that he does have the Force as well, he's not just an evil guy with a lot of money. He's an evil guy with a lot of money who is Force sensitive, and to what degree we don't know. So yeah, he could be a big time villain in the Star Wars universe.
That's true.
But I'm talking, maybe you do one more season and then you just go into a trilogy. Just fucking go for it, Disney.
Well, the good thing about pirates, though, is that they are always for themselves, so they don't necessarily always have to just be evil. They could flip-flop to being whatever serves them best. I get it. You want him to go as far into the power hungry that he had been striving for his entire life. Yeah, you'd love to see the depths of that just, explored. But at the same time, they sprinkled throughout this season his softer side and his caring for family, which maybe he never had growing up.
Yeah, but they did that with Anakin. They did
look
that
what
with
happened to
Anakin.
him.
Exactly.
The chosen one went real bad.
It could happen to Jod. He could, and I don't think he would do it necessarily to be like, hey, I have all this money and power and wealth, I'm going to be a bad guy, right? I mean, villains like that kind of suck. Unless it's maybe the Joker, right? Being bad for the sake of being bad. Like, maybe one of the greatest, if not the greatest villain of all time, for me, is Thanos. Thanos didn't think he was doing anything wrong. What made Thanos so great is he felt like he was doing the universe a service, right? And that's what made it powerful, because he believed wholeheartedly nothing was going to stop him. He was going to get those Infinity Stones, and he was going to snap his fucking finger, and the world will thank him for it. And it didn't matter what other people thought. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, and of course, when you watch it, Thanos is a bad guy, right? So I don't necessarily think Jod's going to go into it with the intentions of, hey, I'm going to be a villain. But the result of his ambition and what's driving him would look that way to others on the outside.
it also would bring up an interesting character internal struggle because he would have everything that he's ever chased. So what does he do next?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I also would be curious if they did do like a trilogy or anything, how many of the Hutts are still in power after Jabba's death? Because they're the number one crime syndicate of the Outer Rim. So my understanding is, so maybe he'd be going head to head with the Hutts. Who knows? Lots of things for Disney to be like, hey, here's some, you want some original movies? If we have time for it, I have one more very quick theory.
Yeah.
Do we have time?
Of course we don't. Okay, let's do the trivia now.
Okay.
I would love to hear.
Never mind then.
No. He said it's really good, Shao. He was
It's
telling me
really,
before.
really
Go ahead.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he was saying in the chat? That he was like, I can't wait. Yeah. Okay. He's
Yeah.
like, reserve 5 minutes for me. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
There's 5 more minutes till I come up with this theory. So my theory is that maybe it's not how Captain Renard got there. Is that maybe he was already there. Maybe he is a citizen of Attin, and that's how he got off planet. Because first of all, if no one can get on there unless they are either a Republican emissary, which he might have been as well, or you have a ship. But if he was already a citizen of the planet, he would have been able to, obtain a ship and leave if he was not in cahoots with the supervisor, or he wasn't and he was like, fuck that guy, I'm going to go do my own thing. There's a whole big planet out there, I'm going to go be a pirate. So, and then he has essentially done what
So you
Mr.
think
Sexy
he would?
did and created this mythos around himself. And that's why he was able to go back and forth to the planet. One time he just didn't land it too good and crashed.
So you think he was like robbing his own planet? I mean, if you have access to that amount of gold, what's the point of going and being a pirate?
Boredom.
Well,
Is that what you're...
Unless he didn't have access, so
he might. It goes back to our earlier theory. The hologram of him didn't see his face. The statue on at Akron didn't have a head.
Yeah.
Maybe he was someone from at Akron because the ships can interact with other
and then
planets.
he's taking the money back to rule and run at Akron.
Yeah, something like that. That was just what I was like, oh, maybe he wasn't a pirate who had heard of these planets. Maybe he was already within the system and knew, like, this is what's going on.
I could see him being more from Akron, if that's the case, and Attin, and that makes sense because he has a ship. Because I just thought, oh, he's a pirate. He could just commandeer a Republic emissary's ship, probably quite easily, and then get it suited, get the hull armored up, and then go to Attin to get the treasure.
And if all
that's
9
sort
of
of
those
kind of
planets, if all 9 of those planets had their own treasure, Attin's one is the only one that is an actual physical gold treasure, but all the other ones had something else, right? That's why there was 9 of them. They're obviously hiding something or keeping something safe. So if he was like, maybe he was power hungry at Akron guy, and he's like, you know what? I've got the gift of this planet. Let's try and get the gifts of all the other planets and see.
Also, what do you need that much Republic credits for?
Maybe it's just,
they don't have tap
droids.
in the Star Wars universe. They can't just like tap their data pads and it pays for something. Like they can travel like at light speed, but they need a fucking coin in their pocket to pay for a cheeseburger. Like, what are we talking about here?
That's true. It's a very good point.
It might be.
Because it was a lot. It wasn't a little bit. Like, it was a lot of credits. And what are you making them for?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's droids being droids, and they didn't get a stop order, so they just kept minting money.
That's their job. That's what, that's all that they do. Really quick question before the totally wizard wizardria. Is that in there's still obviously a lot of things, a lot of questions that haven't been answered. I'm not sure if they're gonna answer all of it in the last episode. Maybe save some for season 2 or whatever. But is there one thing in particular that you guys would want the most to have kind of, I guess, kind of shown or whatever in the last episode? Like, for example, for me, I really actually I was gonna go back and forth. We were talking about how maybe all we want is to see like a battle scene, or maybe you want to see the supervisor, or maybe you want to know more about, the other acts or something. Is there something in particular that you guys want to have explained in the last episode, or see in the last episode?
I mean, I'll just go through each of those because it's funny. We talked about like who is the supervisor, what's going on. We need to know more about the supervisor. I kind of like don't care about the supervisor anymore.
Hmm.
He hasn't really played a role I thought he would, at least not to this point. So any sort of relevance he has, I mean, I guess he could still play because Jod could be caught and then he's taken up to the supervisor and that's the reveal. But to me, like that's not what I necessarily care to see for a final episode. Like I mean, unless it's like oh my God, that's the supervisor, but we know who the actor is. It's not somebody we know unless, they just use his voice for that part. But unless there's like some serious heavy weight behind his reveal, I don't really care.
Mm.
I want to see. And what was another thing that you said? I need SM33's got to stay dead. That has to happen.
Well,
Very
yeah,
passionate
feel
about
like,
that.
I mean, like, you got decapitated, like, fully, just like, I don't know.
How do you
I-
guys feel about it? Like, I feel like they've used him being shot, disabled, flicked off, decapitated. Like,
I mean, he's a sick character,
he's
but
I loved him as a character.
yeah,
Yeah.
I also,
I
I'm
also like
indifferent
Ned
about
Stark.
him.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I'm indifferent
Ned's
about
got a
him
role.
going back or not. You know what I mean? Like, I, sure, whatever. Like, he's dead. He's dead. That's me, anyways. Because he, as much as information he gave to the crew and the kids or whatever, he did kind of he served his purpose. Let's just say, for me. So I'm okay with that. For me, it's more so I want to know more about Renaud. I think I want to. I don't know if they're gonna reveal his identity in the last one, but I'm just curious about that mostly for me.
Can I say one thing
Yeah.
quickly about SM33 and the fact that he's no longer circuits are all connected? I did like in this episode where he had that moment of making his own choice.
Yes.
That moment where Mr. Sexy claimed the new ship.
Yeah, and
then Fern said,
unclaims
unclaims these, I claims it, right? And then he goes, you can't do that. And then SM33 is just like silent. Did the camera even hold on him for a while? And then he just goes, I like the sounds of that, or that sounds good to me, or whatever it was. I was like,
Close
something like
enough.
that.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Lot of
Yeah.
trivia
I was like, you know what? I said, wow. That's like almost, him choosing, like him making a choice to choose to do the right thing and to go against the pirate code. And that's something we'd never seen. He was always for the pirate code. And then he gets his head chopped off.
Yeah.
So he went out,
Went out in style.
Hayden,
you have something to add on to that?
I just
Or what do you want to see in the last episode?
Let me say this one quick thing while it's in my brain, and then I'll see the thing that I want to see at the end. Off that, I just had a wild thought. I was like, because he had the free will of a droid, which some of them do, obviously, R2 being the most famous, and Chopper from Rebels. The claimsies term, he was like, it's close enough. Maybe Captain Renaud was a kid pirate, and he knew the terms of claimsies when he programmed SM33.
That's kind of
he built him as a kid.
Yeah. And then worked his way into an adult. So he might very well be alive still.
Maybe, yeah.
Just came to my head.
Interesting.
It
That's
might
an interesting, very
it'll
interesting
be
theory.
blown out of the water in the next episode, but
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
it just came to me.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see, of all of the things I that you guys have mentioned, yes, and yes, there was a lot of talk and a lot of mythos behind the Old Republic stuff with Kim's maps and the tapestries in the parents' buildings and all of the 9 planets. So I would love to see a little bit more as to what the significance of that was.
Yes.
If we're gonna see some old Jedi that have remained hidden, or what, or what they're gonna do with that. That's what I would like to see. Just a little bit, just enough to make you go, "Oh, that's the end of the episode now," like they always do. Like the last scene, it'll be like, "Hey, I am."
Yeah, that'd be good to get a little more information on that. Shao, here's what I want to see. I want to see a lightsaber fight.
I would imagine there would
Between
be.
who?
Yeah, it doesnment matter.
Wim's
Surprise
just
me.
gonna get one, and he'll turn it the right way this time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it'd be like who would be the worst? Like
Neil.
And Neil
he holds in the trunk and it's like
swings it around. Woo!
yeah. Or like one of KB's moms. Just
She's actually a Jedi Knight in disguise.
yeah.
Maybe they all are.
Maybe. But that being
I'm
said,
with you on that though, Hayden. Finding out more about why they were set up, what their tie is to the Old Republic. Because then that could be more if Jod gets away with the mints, what's the significance or what's the real threat behind that? Because it's like, oh, this pirate got away with, one ship full of credits, which probably would be a fraction of what one vault. And we know there's a ton of vaults. So, it's not like, oh, we got to get this guy back immediately. We got to, those credits are important. Were they really?
yeah.
Like, are you going to chase him around the galaxy for it? No, you're probably not. So
That's true. And with that, it's now time that we dabble in a little trivia, a totally trizzard trivia for episode 7. Now, same format, ladies and gentlemen, where I will. Oh, I'm sorry, Hayden. Do you maybe you can use your phone? There is going to be one aspect where, Justin, do you have a pen or paper or phone that you can type on or something like that? Perfect.
I do.
There's going to be one question where that will be.
I know you try and be sneaky with these fucking trivia things.
I have to be very sneaky because you guys are very good at trivia. You guys pay attention to all the dialogue, all the details. So I have to really kind of bend it a little bit to see if you guys.
That's what makes me nervous, because I was like,
Good.
okay,
I like that you're nervous.
Shao knows that I'm going to be looking for trivia questions, and I'll jot things down, but he knows that I do that. So he's going to try and be sneaky. So now I'm trying to be like, what would sneaky Shao do? And I'm like, Justin, just watch the fucking episode, because I'm just trying to write notes of like, oh, what if he asks this? What if he asks this?
And the thing is interesting is that Justin and Hayden both have their own style of questions. And so sometimes when I'm thinking of the questions, I'm like, oh, this is something that Justin would probably get because it's more like something he would ask. I'm like, oh, this is a Hayden question. So I'm trying to really you know what I mean?
What if you
Balance it
blend
out a
them?
little bit. So number 1, get ready for their dingers.
Oh, geez. We're getting to it.
And
Okay,
I can use notes now that I realized after last week. I'm allowed to use notes.
Yeah, no one told them you can look at notes. Okay.
Shit, the secret's out.
So, according to our podcast last week,
Oh boy. Nice.
who says the episode
Ding, ding, ding,
title?
ding, 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 ding. Oh, dang. I premature dinged. Fern says the episode title, and Shao got it right after he stole the fern from Hayden.
That is correct. That is the second part of my question, you guys.
Yes.
I was like, who got it right? Well done. Okay, off to a hot start. Number 2, we all remember the pirate Pax as part of Jod's crew. What language
Ding
does
ding ding ding.
Justin.
Hooties.
That's correct.
Sorry, what?
Well done.
Hooties.
Hattis or Houthis?
Hutties.
Yeah.
Hooties. Hooties.
Hutties. Is what
Hutties.
the Huts speak.
Hutties. Hooties. Well,
Hutties?
on the
Hutties?
inner rim we call it hooties.
Oh, I didn't know.
The
Okay,
inner
that's
rim.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause Justin
yeah.
is from inner rim.
Yeah.
Question 3. Close game. What did what did Neil's brother get for losing a tooth?
Oh, ding, 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 ding,
Oh
ding.
my gosh.
Okay, Hayden.
It's the wrong word, but it's like it's the dowry or something. You said it earlier. I can't remember what it is. So don't give me a point, Justin.
Don't give you a point. Justin,
Unless
do
I
you
got
wanna-
it right.
No, yeah. Is it shoot. You know what's funny is I feel like this is one of the ones I was like, I'm just gonna remember. But let's say a battery. But I don't think it is.
It is a dowry.
A dowry? Yeah. Is
Hayden,
that how you pronounce
I
it?
mean, Hayden's a dowry, which is a completely different thing.
That's
Yeah.
when you're getting married, Hayden.
That's why I said it was wrong. I didn't say
Yeah.
it was the right answer.
He
So
gets
start
a
with
shiny
D.
new dowry, but
Dowry.
he wants Neil back instead.
Dowry. Yeah.
What is a dowry?
That's like the coin.
That's a coin, the gold. the
Okay.
gold.
That's what it's actually called, yeah.
So you get
Yeah.
one of those on that Attin for losing a tooth.
Yeah, you get $1,000. So
Off-planet,
what we
then-
describe as $1,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though. The value, that's what I was saying in one of the
To
previous
them.
episodes, right? The value of that at Attin would be
25 cents.
significantly less.
Yeah.
That's why they need so many of them.
Yes.
Ah.
As number 4, as Jod walks into the mint with the droid tells him that there are this many vaults. How many
Ding ding ding
vaults?
ding ding ding.
Okay, Justin,
1,139.
that is correct. Pulling away here, but don't worry, Hayden, you have a chance to. Yes, go ahead, Hayden.
Do you know the significance of that number?
Yes, but it's one off from. It's one off. You know that, right? 1138 THX.
Yep.
I do know that.
Did you say cave checks?
THX.
Oh,
Hayden, you can tell people. You're the nerd.
tell people.
George,
Hayden.
George
Tell the
Lucas's
people.
first student film was 1138 THX. So they were in the first vault, which means there was 1,138 other vaults with that much money left.
Dang.
That's a. I'll give you half point for that. That's a cool little tidbit.
Yes.
point.
Nice.
All right.
It's on the board. All right.
On the board.
All right.
Did you have that number written down, Hayden?
I did. It was
You
the
know?
last thing on my notes here. 1139 gold votes vaults, and I was like, "Oh, damn it! Justin had it written down too."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
As soon as he said how many vaults are there, I was like,
I was waiting for the whole question.
10
in
came
case.
out. Yeah. No, I mean in the
Oh,
episode.
in the
when-
episodes, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this could be a trivia question. How many vaults?
let's throw back to another milder, easier question. Number was this 5. Who opens the airlock for Jod?
Ding 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 ding.
Please, Justin.
Kona.
That's correct. Kona. Kona the pirate. Kona pirate. Wow, Justin. Okay, here we go. Don't worry, Hayden. You're still in this.
I'm just
Question
letting
rule.
him go. Just letting him go to that last question.
He just wants to rub it in my face.
You got this.
Yeah.
Number 6. Who says this line?
Oh boy.
It's probably a tree sucker.
Ding 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 ding.
Go ahead.
Mary.
That's incorrect.
Marie. All right.
Okay, Hayden, do you want to?
I don't know her name, but it was one of KB's parents. I don't know her name though.
Can you describe her physically?
Ding ding ding.
As a mother,
Harry.
What'd you say, Hayden?
I said as a mother. That was how I would describe her.
I'm talking about physical, ethnicity, whatever.
I don't know what ethnicity they are. They're from Attin. Long
Attinese. Would you say she was Attinese?
Attinese.
I would have accepted Attin's, but I do accept Justin's Gary.
Gary.
When did he say
Gary.
Gary? All I
Gary
ever
and
heard-
Mary.
When
heard
when
Mary
he
and
asked you
Mary.
for a description,
You said
because technically I was like, well, he
Gary?
gave the wrong answer, so I
Yeah.
knew it was one of the two, but I couldn't remember which one.
So her
Very
parents
good.
are Mary and Gary?
Yeah. Marree and Garree.
Yeah, however you pronounce that.
Yeah, however you pronounce. Okay. All right.
Gary.
Gary.
Okay.
Gary, Mari. They're pirates.
So this question is when they discover at Attin and they send a volunteer to go check out the planet. What is the name of the spacecraft?
Ding 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 ding. The Ravager 1.
Oh, that's correct. All right.
So you did go to town, running down every little
you went
bit.
to town. Shit. It's a
How
No,
do you
these
even
are
watch
all-
the episode?
Justin printed out the script.
No
Oh,
way
okay.
that those are from your memory.
It's a binder.
There's
This
no way.
I study before I watch it, study it up. I can't help I have a photographic memory.
All
Except for Mary and Gary. They both look the same.
Okay. Here's a one, two, three. Okay, so
Here's the winning question.
8 is what does Brutus say before he dies? What's his last words?
Oh,
Oh,
great question. Great question. I don't know this one.
no, do I? Doesn't he? He just
Oh,
kind of
wait.
looks.
Let me check. Maybe I wrote it down just in case.
Check your script.
Let me just
Your show Bible. Here we go.
let me just check my show Bible. It's not autopilot, is it? I'm just kidding. Okay.
You're like Ravager 1. No, that's
Yeah.
This is a little bit anticlimactic, but he just says
No.
Silvo. That's all he says.
Silvo.
And then, okay, so it remains 7 to nothing.
Half.
But don't
you gave me
worry.
a half
Oh, he's got a
point
half. He's
I
got
got
a
a
half
Oh, yeah,
point.
half point. Yeah, halfy.
for giving trivia during the trivia.
Yeah, I like that trivia too. All right, now let's go back to like an easier one. Who dubs Neil's voice in Czech?
In
In-
Czech.
I'm looking for the actor's name.
Is it someone that we'd actually know?
Well, I certainly hope so.
How many Czech actors do we know?
So many.
So many. Is it like a Skarsgård brother, sibling?
Are you guys telling me you're unfamiliar with Jakub Jędrzejczyk?
Oh, Yenchik. I thought it was Slavkovsky, but
Okay, well, no one gets that one.
oh, I don't know how I
How do you
missed
spell
that.
that? How do you spell that?
Jakub
Yeah.
Jencik. Hayden, you looking him up?
Yeah, I'm like,
No
I
one
want
knows
to
who
see
the
what it
fuck
looks
this is.
like.
Get ready, Hayden. This is your chance. Name any Limp Bizkit song.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hayden.
Rolling.
There we go. You're
Yes.
okay. Last question, and this is worth all the marbles. This is worth as many
Oh, boy.
as you get written down. Okay.
Oh, this is a
Oh.
writing one.
Okay. So this episode had an all-star list of digital artists who worked on it. In 15 seconds, list as many as you can. Go. Okay, pencils down.
I didn't even bother
What-
writing anything.
Hayden,
What is
you
that?
didn't even- Hayden,
What is that question?
What do you mean?
How many did you get, Hayden?
I didn't even bother doing it because I was like, I don't know digital artists.
Oh, they're like, Justin, did you get any?
Yeah, you know what? When I
saw
was
you saw
thinking
you
of
write shit down.
when I was thinking of Sneaky Shao, I was like, okay, I got to pay attention to the credits after,
But-
because there'll maybe be a credit question. We've done directors, writers, creators, so I'm watching, trying to think of something, and then I see this fucking giant list.
Of the
Oh,
ILM people from.
So I have 4 names.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
I
have.
do have. Okay. tell
Shao
me
never
tell-
watches the credits though. He's like, there's 6 minutes of credits, so I'm like, he probably doesn't even watch them. Show's over, done. Yeah.
Okay. Suzavan Adita,
That's 1 point.
Priya Atlawell, Arun Kumar Akavaram,
Okay. Yeah. 3 points.
Mark Casey.
Very good. Unfortunately, Hayden, your chance to clap back failed there. So that concludes. So we have a
I
final
gave up
tally
before you even
of
said that.
11 to 1.5 for Justin.
Woo!
So Hayden's streak continues.
Yeah, I'm
I
saving
ho-
it for
I
the
wonder-
final episode.
Oh, there you go.
'Cause I
He's
can't-
saving it all.
I'm not versing Justin, I'm versing you, Shao.
Because actually,
you have a big chance here.
the whoever wins the last episode wins for the whole thing. Just
So
like
it's
the
gonna be
last-
Shao.
just-
Is there gonna
just
be
like
is there
the
gonna be a
last-
crown or something?
Yeah.
So Justin can't win it all then.
Yeah,
Oh, you better study up, boys, because I mean, it's if it's the final skeleton crew trivia.
you're
I
gonna be
mean,
pulling from all episodes. You're gonna watch the whole
I mean,
series
I
Oh
would
my
be
together.
the
God,
one
no,
who
please
said
no.
it, but I would go back to your notes.
It's like,
Hayden.
In Aqualite,
Yeah.
episode 4. That was
Yeah.
fun. Good job, Justin. Yeah. Fuck. Well, thank you for playing. Hope you guys got some. How many at home got the digital artists?
You're an
How many did you
asshole
guys
for
get
that
there?
question, by the way.
But you still had it written down.
I don't know. I just snap a picture of credits as they go by.
Thanks for playing along, and write in. Tell us what your theories are for the last episode or season 2, for that matter.
What you want to
And
see in the end?
What you want to
do
see? Yeah, exactly. Who do you think someone's gonna die? Oh wait, no. We
Wim's
can't
dad.
wrap up yet because we don't know. We haven't made our bets.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. Do you guys have any ideas?
Oh.
I'm gonna say
yes.
Wim. I'm sticking with Wim, but I don't know what he's gonna say.
Okay.
He's gonna be like, Judd, take us home.
I'm gonna give you a chance to change that, or you want to keep? Are you locking it in?
No, I'm just gonna say Wim, and then I'll let you guys say yours, and then
Okay.
I'll see what he
You
might
want
say.
Wim?
I'm sticking with him.
Wim is a good. I keep spelling his name wrong. I always added H in there. Justin, do you have a?
Yep, I do.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be Jod,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and he's gonna say, "No more scraps." Or scraps? No, yeah, scraps. No more. No more
Scraps,
scraps.
No more
Tell me
scraps.
something about scraps. Yeah, like suck
no
it,
more-
scraps.
No more flamesies?
Can we go with suck it, scraps? Suck it, scraps.
Wait, suck it, scraps. Okay. Suck it, scraps. Hayden, you don't have a line yet, do you?
No.
So you're Wim. We have Mr. Sexy for Justin. Literally, those two were gonna be my A and B, but let's go with my C, which is Fern said one, KB said one, Wim has. Oh,
Can we?
I really don't think Neil's gonna do it, but I'm gonna go out of line, and I'm gonna do Wim's dad.
Yeah, nice. Hey, that's been working for you, stealing what other people have given up on.
I know I'm 2 and 2 right now, I think.
I was
So my
thinking,
line. So you have no more scraps or suck it, scraps.
yeah, it's
I will
definitely one of the
do-
two.
Attin belongs to us. That's what he
Oh
says.
shit!
But who's saying that, sorry?
Wim's dad.
Wim's dad saying that. As he
Yeah.
leads the revolt against the pirates.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine it's one of the freaking vault droids?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Okay, so my line very quickly, it's going to be Wim saying a pirate's life. for me.
Attin belongs to us.
No, so what, a pirate what?
A
Hayden?
pirate's life for me.
Ooh.
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 I like that one. So we have Hayden saying that says Whim is gonna say a pirate's life for me. We have Justin, who thinks.
Sorry, can you
Jod
do
will
it in
say-
the voices of the characters that people chose, just to make it more authentic?
Oh, okay. Hayden says Whim. So, a pirate's life for me. That's Whim.
Spot
then-
on. I think you
And then
nailed
we
it.
have Justin with Jod. Which one do you want? Both?
Oh, just for the
Okay.
sake of this, do the second one. Mr. Sexy.
So hard. Suck it. Scraps.
I was
can't do
one.
it.
Where's the British?
How do you do it? Suck it. Suck it. Scraps.
Nailed it. God, when you close your eyes, man, you're
Suck it,
spot on.
scraps.
Thank you.
All these, yeah.
Thank you. And then Wim's dad will say,
Why were you throwing up gang signs?
It's getting in the headspace.
From, well, West Side.
Attin belongs to us. That's how he's gonna say it.
That's how I was gonna say.
All right. On that note, thank you for joining. And like I said before, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know your theories. All the good stuff. And until next time, one more week into the finale, keep on
Phenomenal.
Winky.
Suck it, scrap.